and welcome to the podcast where passion and purpose collide. We are on a mission to interview women and the occasional token man about how their passion and purpose have collided to create healthy relationships and profitable businesses. I'm Elizabeth Denham, publisher of The Franchise Woman, and I'm here with Rebecca Monet, President and Chief Scientist of Zoracle Profiles. Each show we start off with our roses and thorns for the week, which are our highs and lows. Rebecca, why don't you give us a go?
Oh my goodness. So my thorn this week was Paul Pickett of Wild Birds Unlimited. But let me explain. On January 29th, I fell and I broke my femur. I had surgery where they inserted 3 what seemed like foot-long spikes in my leg, and I was in the hospital for 8 days. It's almost 4 months now, and I'm still in this crazy amount of pain, and I'm unable to straighten out my leg, which of course makes my back go kind of catty-wonkus, and I'm not sure which hurts worse, my leg or my back. Mm-hmm. And I walk like a toddler. Now, not the 2 or 3 year old toddler who just got caught stealing a snack and is running like heck to get away from his mama. I'm more like that toddler that's just learning to walk, who would, if they hit any little bump in the carpet, they would go rump over tea kettle. That kind of toddler is how I walk. But suffice it to say, I've been feeling self-pity is what I've been feeling, which was only crazy exasperated by seeing pictures of Paul Pickett on Facebook, where he's on the floor with his puppies less than 3 weeks after his hip surgery. To me, it was almost like Jesus came down and slathered Paul Pickett with olive oil or something and said, "Get thee up and play with those puppies like nothing had ever befallen you." And poof, Paul is up. So naturally that created all kinds of emotion in me. And then there was another, I don't know if you saw it, another photo of him where he's out in his garden, which is immaculate, and he's talking about pulling the weeds. And I'm thinking, I couldn't even bend over and pick up the peanuts that fell out of my mouth after I chewed on a Snickers bar. I mean, there's no way I could do that. And then the final straw that broke the camel's back was when Paul posted a photo out in that immaculate garden where he's wearing a t-shirt that says, I do my own stunts. Now, I actually thought it was, did you see it? Mm-hmm. I thought it was clever, but please, notice nobody sent me that shirt. No one even assumed I could do my own stunts. They just see.
It's just salt in the wound.
It's salt in the wound. It was terrible, you know? So anyway, suffice it to say, not only am I feeling pain, but I'm feeling self-pity. And then icing on the cake, I'm now envious of Paul Pickett. And it's taking everything for me to hold it together with my emotional intelligence. That's my thorn.
That's your thorn. Well, I hope you have a rose to follow that up.
Oh, I'm working on it. Humor. Okay. Humor comes out of it.
Humor. I love it. I think that's what it is. You know, and I certainly sympathize with you. I have 9 screws and a 4-inch plate in my ankle. So I can relate to that feeling of pain and that feeling that life is passing you by and other people are moving and you're stuck in this one spot. And it's just, you can get demoralized really easily. And it takes a long time for bones to heal. So I would have looked at Paul and felt that same exact way. If it makes you feel any better, I totally would have been on your page.
Yeah. So
well,
my
thorn is kind of funny because I really worked some, at least on the weekends, usually some Saturday and some Sunday. And I didn't work at all this Saturday or Sunday. I did work Memorial Day, but I just hit a wall. I was tired. My brain was tired. I just hit a mental wall and I just needed to not think. So I didn't. And I have been racked with guilt ever since. I feel like there were so many things I should have been doing, and my husband gets me. He's like, just give yourself a minute. Just, if you can't enjoy it, you're ruining it. Which he's right. But you know, when you have a million things to do and you're excited about doing them, and you have goals and those kinds of things that you want to achieve, it's hard to put it aside for a minute and give yourself that mental break. And I recognize that I need it, but I still can't let go of feeling like I should have been doing something during those times. So, but the rose I have,
a voice in the head, right? That said shoulda, coulda, woulda kind of thing.
Well, it is. And even on those days when I was doing less, I spent time with my son. We got in the pool together and hung out. And, but the whole time I'm thinking I could be doing this, or I should be doing that. Or, you know, I did wash the slip covers on the sofas. So that was productive. I now have bright, clean, you know, white sofas. But the rose that follows that up is that the thing that gets rid of stress for me is exercise. And for 30 years, it was ballet, because ballet is so hard and so physically demanding that it is the only thing you can think of while you're doing it. And so it's an escape, a mental escape and a physical escape. And then you're so tired that you just feel depleted of all that stress. I can't dance anymore because of my ankle, and I had knee surgery. So now I'm walking. And I was doing a step challenge with my friend just to keep us motivated. And it turns out she didn't know she was competitive. And so I sent it to my daughter, and she's like, well, I want to do it. And then she and my son were talking, and he wanted to do it. And so the next thing I know, I have 11 people in this step challenge, most of whom are my family, my children, my nieces, and then my sister-in-law, and 2 friends. So that's kind of a rose, because on the days you don't want to go, you go. Because somebody might get ahead of you, and that would be bad.
That's true.
It's gotten us all up and moving during this quarantine period, which is hard. Motivation is hard to do physical activity. So at least on that, I feel less guilty about not moving.
There you go. Guilt.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, I tend to feel guilt pretty easily. I think it comes from perfectionism, which I am much better at than I used to be recovering from, but I still live in that guilty thing if I don't do something that I think I should be doing.
I think many of us are, if not perfection oriented, performance oriented. And when we're not performing to whatever crazy standard we set for ourselves, then we feel bad, we feel guilty, we feel, you know, less than.
Yeah.
It's
true. That's why I now have 5 kids. I think God was telling me that you can't be perfect with that many people in your house. It's not possible. You're going to screw something up every day. So that was my life lesson with 5 kids. Yeah. Get over yourself. Well, I hope your pain improves. I hate that you're feeling that way. But
I'm sure it will. I'm just not exactly known for being patient. Not one of my finer virtues.
So this is your lesson. You have to be patient with yourself.
No,
no, it's not going to happen.
And no, well, you know, I can be patient with everybody else but myself.
I think another common thing is like the perfectionism.
Yeah.
I don't expect other people to be perfect or perform at the top level every day of their lives, but you expect it from yourself. So you same thing.
We're crazy that way, aren't we?
I know.